Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. I hope everybody's having a great day. Today it's Saturday. The weeks just fly by. It's so weird. It's like, they always say when you're a kid, the days drag on so long. Well, it's because you haven't experienced anything. Feel like you don't have anything to look forward to. What do you got to look forward to? School, Christmas? Christmas seems like a million miles away. See, when we're older, though, we have the opportunity to create new experiences and we tend to focus on our connections a lot, and that tends to waste a lot of time. Now, for those of you that are new to my channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So like to look at everything, but I look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes more. And the reason why is because the majority of the times we're not connected to our what do you call it, not, I don't want to say a soulmate, but there's a special soulmate, a life partner. That's what's the word that I was looking for, a life partner, which is just an easygoing relationship. That it's not that you don't trigger each other and you don't have fights. Of course you do in every relationship, but there's no karmic consequences. No one is so wounded that they want to get over, that they want a one-sided relationship, or they're just unsure of what they want because of all the trauma that they've gone through within their life. You know what I'm saying? Problem is that when we connect to broken people, hurt people hurt people. When I say broken, I'm talking about fragmented. When we detach from parts of ourselves that have traumatized, of like, again, parts of ourselves that we don't like because we lived through an experience that was traumatizing, and we had to form habits and behaviorisms that were in alignment with those experiences. They kept us safe psychologically, emotionally, sometimes even physically. But you get out of that situation, you move out of your parents' home, and you still have those same habits and behaviorisms. And now you don't understand why your relationships don't work. Over time, you begin to believe that you can't have. So there's a lot of education on this channel as well. Always feel free to write in your comment bar any topics that you want to look at, any questions that you have. Understand I might not be able to get to them until after the channel, but it's all about your healing. It's all about your growth. You can create your heaven on earth. You really can, because there's a deity part of self, and the deity part of self is a God part of self. It's a higher self. It's what you and I are going to connect to when we're doing the reading. You can say, I resonate with that. Yeah, that person was an asshole. I was there. Were you there too? Like, it's almost like you can feel it. It doesn't logically make sense. Spiritual realm doesn't, very rarely makes logical sense, only from a spiritual perspective, which is everything is here to help you evolve into the highest state of consciousness, which is your original consciousness, which is just unconditional love, that you're not prejudiced when you're born. You don't have preconceived notions about what you should look like, what your life should be like, what this person did, what that person did, what the world told us. No, you don't think anything. You're like a clear canvas, right? Ready to paint whatever you want to paint. So ancestral karma, when we inherit that from, a lot of times, from collective karma, whatever's going on in the environment. Like, I'll give you an example. COVID. That was a scary time. Everyone's stuck inside, and you saw, oh my God, the food, where's the food? Oh, like, what did it do? It triggered our survival. There's a war on consciousness right now. And that war on consciousness is, I'm going to show you this perception. And this perception is how you're going to form your habits and your behaviorisms. But in the spiritual realm, there are no boundaries. There are no one size doesn't fit all. We're all uniquely different. You might have 1,000 people that, think alike because they want to get married a certain way. And then you can have another 1,000 other people over here that think completely different. And neither one is wrong. It's like, oh, we'll be told that things are wrong. We're told. It's like, and then we begin to form the habits and behaviorisms and those habits of feeling not good enough, not worthy, not like feeling shameful, feeling guilted, all those energies keep you in a lower state of consciousness. So, again, anything derived from fear, two energies, love and fear. The deity part of self is the God part of self. The ego part of self tends to fall more from the fear because it's all about survival. The reptilian mind only cares about your survival. It doesn't care whether you're dysfunctional and you're making it through life. It just cares if you're surviving. It's what overrules. But we can transcend that. And we're supposed to be able to transcend that now through heaven on earth, creating heaven on earth through your consciousness, grounding it to the energy of unconditional love. So these readings, like I said, since how do you think the universe teaches you? Well, it's got to bring you people and situations and experiences to help you do so. So it's not that you're being punished. A lot of times I read in the comments, God's a narcissist, which is impossible because God's inside of you, and it's the energy of love. It's like that's the energy of the universe. It's the same thing. It's ubiquitous. It works through us, through gut, intuition, and knowing, and works through the environment. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So the ideas that life is hard, the ideas that you need to be something, or when before you even have discovered who you are, a lot of times is the imbalance. And so we feel a lack. And that lack takes us further away from ourselves if we don't have spiritual ground. So we look for it through our relationships. We look for it through outside things, and it always leads us to the lack instead of fulfillment. And so again, many different realities that play at one time. You're the alchemist of your life. So you need to listen to these readings this way. All right. Now, if you want to enter into any free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card and the second card that I kind of pull out. You only have to write the one word. And it just tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing, what's influencing the reading. Sometimes neither person is influencing the reading because no one's doing anything, but the universe is. And it's because, we can be stuck in being angry, stuck in mad, stuck in I'm not fixing it, but you still have a cord to that person. So again, the universe doesn't care whether you're mad. It's like, oh, you're focused on this? Okay. So be careful what you focus on, in that astral realm is the imagination. The word of the video is virtue. Virtue. I feel like you're someone that tries to definitely live from a higher state of consciousness, and that's virtue. Is that is you're virtuous, is someone that is very mindful of living in alignment with their true self. And their true self is someone that is courageous, someone that is honorable, does things with honor, does pay attention to the way that they treat other people. So your energy. So because you know what I just felt? Because you're in this energy, this person isn't doing anything because they're like, well, I don't really know if you like me. Again, the focus, they're like, I don't really know if you like me now. I don't really know how to read that energy. See, this person would, if you were fighting with them, if you were caught up in their drama, then they know how to deal with you, but they don't know how to deal with this energy. And you're mindful, like you said, of meaning that you've done a lot of healing work on yourself. You're like, I've done healing work on myself. I've gotten to a place where I know when a person is disrespecting me. I know what I'm worth. I know where this person didn't think that you did, but you can only walk like this if you worked for it, if you're mindful, if you're awakened. So I feel like you're in separation from somebody. This is the book. Don't like that book. I've got a new deck of cards that I'm excited to play with, and that's the what is this again? The spirits and the shadows. So we see again heartache, and that's what I was saying. It's like virtue is, obviously when you come from that place, even if someone hurt you, you're attracting other people that are in alignment with that energy. So even if you're connected to someone that didn't give you anything, well, you're not going to look like you're hysterical crying, even if you're sad about it, because you're able to, you have fulfilled yourself in other areas. Like I said, you've healed yourself on a lot of levels. And so this person is actually the person that's in the heartache. And they're in the heartache because they don't know how to approach you. They don't know how to approach you. I want to pull from a different deck. Let's see where they are right now. See, we did it a little bit different today. The Genius. So the Genius is, again, that higher self, and the higher self is the God part of self. So you're in that energy. So you're creating, and that could be just working on your job, working on your health, working on you, feeding your own self per se. But the Genius is also meaning you're in this high vibrational energy where, again, this person is, I feel like they know that either they have to come to you correct or they can't come to you at all. I want to see what actually happened. It's so weird how it started this way. And I feel like you're connected to someone that's actually almost like manic right now, has a lot of anxiety. And that's what happens when the person is strategized so much and then they back themselves into a corner. And here it is, you're not playing the game. You're not feeding this, whatever this person is doing, whatever they did. It's you're not all that. I feel like this person came to you almost like a victim. Okay, they came to you like a victim, telling you how they have been in bad relationships where it's pretty much not taking responsibility for what has happened. So almost like looking to be rescued a little bit. There was a little bit of this energy. And the reason why is because they didn't really feel like putting in effort. I'm going to be real. It's this person, I feel like, can date a lot of people at one time, lie, and then, like I said, create the persona. They know what games to play, and I don't know why I'm feeling that. And I'm sorry about that. And here it is, you're in this high vibration. So this person, like I said, comes in looking for people to help them, to give to them. So again, that they act like the victim, and they're always the victim because they are not really aware of what they do. They're not 100% awake to what they do. I feel like this person expected you to be emotionally crushed. I feel like the truth of the matter is that this person has had nothing but bad relationships because of the way that they are. If you don't put energy into the relationship because of past relationships, well, then the focus is on not believing that you can be in a relationship. So then what happens is the person becomes so obsessed about trying to strategize in their relationship that they're first of all, you're not creating yourself if you're so busy focused on the relationship, and you're not building intimacy because you're creating walls. So this person is really lost. It's it's when you're with them, you don't really feel like they're with you, and they're not. And because they come in and they're not coming in with an open heart, I feel like they create the persona that they think that you're going to like. Again, they are concerned about that, but there's also this other part of them that's I don't really believe in relationships, because again, they're coming in with giving so little, being the victim, so they don't really realize that the focus is on being hurt. It's because the universe does listen to what you say, but it's paying attention to what you're doing. And that's the thing. This person's coming in and they're not really coming in genuine. So you're again, they could never really get over on you is what I feel. And so it went on for a really long time that this person came in and out of your life, and they were trying to get you to give to them without them really giving you that much in return. And like I said, it's like that's not what happened. It's like you didn't do that. And so the person became like, I feel like they grew emotions towards you. It's like, not saying that they weren't attracted to you in the beginning. They were attracted. They might have had a spiritual connection, but this person was in their ego. They don't know much about spirituality. It's like they just know, oh, there's a lot of chemistry. So chemistry, I'm going to get you in the bedroom. You're going to want to be in the bedroom with me because I can feel that chemistry. Because there's a lot of chemistry in soul relationships, but you, again, we're in too high of a vibration. Again, the genius energy you have been creating and watching this person. And almost like you've done a lot of healing, so you recognized a lot. This person expected to be drowning, for you to be drowning in your emotions, like I said, because, hey, they played this game before, not really getting to know you, but judging you from other relationships. And really what happened now is that they're actually drowning in their emotions because they didn't realize the whole time that they're playing this game with you and you're not playing back because you're focused on what you're doing, what you're creating. This person's not giving anything. You're in a high vibration. This person is falling in love with you because they're so focused the whole time on coming back. And the thing is, you didn't have any expectation of this person. If anything, you weren't even paying attention to this person because you're like, I don't think that you're ever going to rise up. So I'm not really going to put my eggs in this basket. I'm going to put the eggs in my basket. So wouldn't you know, no expectation, no ownership is what unconditional love is. This person kept coming in and out of your life and they're not realizing it. They're judging, like they're not judging, they're comparing you against every single person that they're dating. And they're not realizing that they're doing this though. And see, it's almost like God tricked them, the universe tricked them. Because here they are, they're a player, think that they have control over everything. Now they're the ones that are drowning in their emotions because, hey, they don't know how to approach you. You're in too high of a vibration. Listen, they'd have to surrender their ego. It's scary for them. It's like they don't know what to do. They've never been put in this predicament before. Let's look at some hidden truths because I'm curious, like what this person's feeling. We might see a lot of different emotions because this person definitely has blocks, blocks to love. But, when we see a person has blocks to love it, you're going to see someone that's emotionally like a little bit all over the place because you're making them think, you're making them dive deep inside of themselves. So they're feeling all different things. So if you were to run into this person, they might not even be that nice to you, but not realizing it again because they're awakening to this thing. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Obviously, they know that there's something, and that's only because this person's normally in their ego. They don't grow attachments to people. It's like, and people normally come back to them with all their fuckery. It's like they're a master. They think they're slick, like I said, player energy in the beginning. So like they know what people normally fall for. And, they study the person. And here it is, it's a spiritual connection. It's not logical. They thought that, they were going to logic this. And Spirit says spiritual always overrides the logical. That's a reptilian mind. It's so limited, Spirit says. The person has tunnel vision. I wish things could be different. It's again, I feel like it's because they see you're not talking to them. So again, things could be different, but they would have to like come in correct. And that's the issue. Come in transparent. You got to tell everything. You got to see, this person didn't want to give anything. They thought that they were going to come in as the victim and that you weren't going to know and you were going to get so caught up in person. That's not what happened because you were too high of a vibration. So it wasn't really enough that they were giving. So you put your energy somewhere else. This person kept thinking that you were playing the game. You weren't playing the game. It's again, they fell in love. Now they're like, I don't know. Now you were right there. You were right there. And it's like, yeah, they were right there. And they think that they, like, I could have finagled it somehow then, I mean, and gotten what they wanted. I should have tried harder. Why didn't I see who you were then? Now, and that's because God was protecting you. The universe was like, oh no, we're gonna. So, I'm sorry, but the universe might have made you look like a bad lady or a bad guy, or like, again, made you look poor, or made you look something from this person's perspective, where they were like, oh no, this isn't something. But meanwhile, that's not you at all, because you're in the creative genius right now. That means that you're manifesting. You're again, in a very high vibration. So of course this person is falling in love. Who wouldn't? It's a spiritual thing. You're in this energy. This is the energy of unconditional love. So you don't hold anything like, I don't really pay that much attention to you. Where this person again is like, oh my God, you're staring at me. It's like you see everything, you see my flaws, where it's like you're not doing that. Other people have done that to this person though. So again, a little bit of, well, I don't want you to see that. I want to see you to see a better version of me. And it's because you're not looking at this person anymore. I'm so attracted to you. Of course, spirit will always going to do that because the person needs to learn the lesson. So it's not going to bring somebody ugly. It's like spirit says, I gotta, give the person some incentive to heal. And that's passion. It's always going to be passion. The problem is too low vibration. The person needs to rise up. And spirit is like, oh my God, this person is like, they're stubborn, they're in their ego, those walls that they've created. But really, this is what they feel. It's again, we will be together again. So in their mind, they're like, I don't know how, but I feel like we'll be together again. Just maybe at the time. So we'll say, well, what transpired? What transpired that this person had to like not give anything, like get in their own way. Let's take, we won't get so caught up in it though, because again, thought that you would be unaware of your worth. And also I feel like they're unaware, never dealt with this type of energy before. There's a reason why this person has a big ego. And if they're not given anything, anybody of any worth is going to not deal with them, because they're going to be like, I don't want to be in a one-sided relationship. I see that you act arrogant, but you're really insecure. Somebody that's on a higher vibration is going to see, like, you're wounded. And so whatever age you were where that, trauma happened, you're stuck in that consciousness. That's this person. It's like you can look at them from that and be like, but I'm not going to entertain myself with it because it's just not enough. Doesn't matter that I have a connection to you. Where this person thought you'd be unaware, they thought that you'd ignore your gut feelings. They, again, ignored their gut feelings because the whole time they knew that this was a spiritual connection, but they're like, I don't really want to be in a committed relationship. I felt like they didn't want to because they weren't ready. So again, distracted. Like you always felt like if they would spend time with you, that they were there, but they weren't really there. That they had a lot. Part of that was anxiety. Part of that was, I don't want to get that deep with you because I purposely don't want to be in a serious relationship right now. So it's also like this person just like you felt like I said, there, but not there, not really as invested. And so I feel like you would tell this person that, and that would trigger them. They would withdraw. And so you felt like, again, you're not like you're keeping the relationship at such a surface level that it just wasn't enough. Is that what the spirit just keeps saying? It wasn't that they were like a horrible person. I feel like if you pushed it, yeah, then they would be self-righteous as in a way to like be back off. And I feel like you felt like, well, they were in a hurry to, to be like physical. And then when I would call them out on it, they would act like coy. And part of acting coy is just like, I don't want to go that deep. I'm not, it's again, I don't want it to be all that. And that has nothing to do with you. That has to do with these cards. We have to see, well, like, why? Because it doesn't have to, but understand, well, look and see why you attracted them into your life. Because Spirit says, well, there's lessons to be learned on both parts. Now I would say that this person's a karmic because they're not, they're not really ready. They weren't ready to step into that energy of unconditional love. Didn't mean that they didn't want to have their cake and eat it too. I feel like you just didn't participate where this person thought that, well, possibly you would. I always knew that you were, an empress or an emperor, but I figured I'd, give it a shot. And if, I got away with it, then I got away with it. And I don't really think that that's a big deal. This person could actually even be a little bit like arrogant at that point. Like, well, I wasn't ready. And it's like this person really, if they're with you, they believe me, they like you because they've already talked themselves out of liking you and looking for a reason to not be in a relationship. You think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything you say and even replay our conversations in our head. So again, you do affect this person, though I feel like they don't show it. And that's part of the withdrawal. I'm looking for a way out of this situation so I can be free. So for some of you guys, this person is connected to somebody else and it wants to like leave that situation. And that's part of the reason why that they weren't going deep. And for others, it's just this person is trying to figure out a way to like come back into your life. And I feel like they can still feel the connection because there still is a connection. However, they believe that neither one of you are being honest to like express yourselves. So they know that they're holding back, but they're like, but you're not making me feel comfortable either because you don't tell me how you feel. So you're looking at me saying that I need to tell you, I need to do this, I need to do that, which I feel like they don't feel comfortable doing any of that, by the way. And I feel like either do you, but so it's almost like both of you guys want like reassurance from the other person. And you're like, yeah, well, they did stuff to make me want that. Like normally, I don't think that you would say you need to prove it to me if like the person normally shows it to you over time. And the fact that they kept it so surface, you're like, I don't know whether this connection even has like a shelf life longer than a few months because it's like they're not giving anything. And I'm not going to give more of myself. I have shit to do. I'm doing stuff with my life. So again, the focus was on what you're doing, what you're creating. And I think that you were right because what you felt like was this person's not going to give me what I'm worth and I can see it. So that's why you're like, no, I believe that you need to give me more because I was open to it. You weren't. You were the one that is the reason why like we're not talking. So you're the one that needs to come back and fix it. And so this again puts this person in a very uncomfortable position because they have a really hard time being transparent, vulnerable, and all those higher energies. But it's again, they know that they have to because you're like, I'm not going to move. I'm not doing anything at this point because you did all of that for no reason. And it's because they were in a low vibration. It's like, so that's why they're trying to figure out how to get back on a higher vibration. And part of them is like, you might not want to hear from me. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons, patience. So it's like, this has been a long time coming. It's like, so even if it's closure, like you want closure, it's like, it's taken a long time. You never got it. It's like this person, I feel like they want more from you. But it's again, they're trying to figure out like how to come back, where really it's not really that difficult. They'd have to surrender their ego. They'd have to take down the wall. And that's the issue, that where this person is like, wants to like lessen. I feel like they want to lessen what they do. Surrender brings us together faster than resistance, where I feel like this person needs to like remind themselves that the fact that they give so little is resistance, and that's why the connection hasn't moved. And it really hasn't moved, because once you stopped giving to the connection, you were like, okay, this is how much you give. I'm not going to give anything, and you didn't tell this person that. And what they noticed after a little while, and it wasn't even right away, was, hey, you're not giving anything. You're not even aware, because they were entertaining themselves. They thought who they were, they were in this ego energy, and now that you detach from yourself and this person's looking at your life, looking at their life, what did they create? Nothing. You didn't create good relationships, because you didn't stick around. It was party time. It was surface level. So you're hanging out with insignificant people. So you're not creating anything within your career. You're not doing anything. So you're pretty much haven't grown, where you're not the same person. It's like, and that's what this person is realizing. And they're saying, you were right here. You were right here. And now it's like they're realizing and they're comparing. It's like, but it's almost like that. I feel our energy, like, this person, but like feels like when they focus on you, that their energy merges with yours. Like, it's again where I think that this can happen with people that are not really grounded. They're a little delusional. I'm not insulting the person, but it's like they remember you from who you were. Remember that. It's like, again, when you were kind, when you were loving, when you were giving, when this was a very strong connection, when there was a lot of chemistry, right? Again, attraction. It's like, that's what they remember. They chose not to feed the connection then. It's like, so when they come back again, I think that this person is a little delusional. They think that it's just going to pick it up where it left off. And I don't believe that that's going to be you. Because nothing in this reading says that would be you. Again, this person needs to heal their inner child. That's what's happening right now. And I feel like part of you, you're like, this person triggered you a lot, because it's almost like, how dare you like come in and give nothing? But it's like they're unaware, spirit saying. It's like, you think that they're doing that to you. It's like you're dealing with someone almost like a second grader, that, you're going to ask them to build something for you. It's not going to look like, it's not going to, you know what I mean? They're not an adult. They're not mature enough. So, and the problem is that they're also blocked in the areas. They get a lot of anxiety, regardless of whether you think that they do or not, because blockages do that. Overthinking, too much overthinking creates too much emotion, creates overstimulation. And that's when a person gets anxiety, and then they tend to get in their own way. And so again, the person likes to keep it surface and says, okay, I want to also make sure that I'm picking the right person. So let me, like if it was ice cream, let me make sure I'm picking the right flavor ice cream cone. I'm going to go into the ice cream cone and say, let me try every single flavor. And this way I really know that that's my flavor. So again, which is not thinking about you at all. So it's, again, that's what this person doesn't realize, because there was a connection here anyway. And that's why I'm saying they're a little delusional. Hard climb, many issues to deal with. Gonna need a very difficult conversation. It's like they're gonna have that awakening, because that's what I'm saying. It's like many issues to deal with, difficult conversations gonna come up. It's like they're not gonna have a choice. They are not going to have a choice but to have this conversation, and that this is what they've been trying to avoid. Fear, obligation, guilt. So again, like what they have a lot of fear about it, but they know they're obligated to do it and they feel guilty. So it's almost like they're frozen. Remember, fight, flight, freeze, overstimulation, too much thinking, trying to strategize a way to come back. Can't come back any other way except for to talk about all the things that they did. And so, of course, it's like they're frozen because they're afraid, like maybe you're not going to be interested now. And then if you reject them, oh my God, then this person's like is going to drop dead right there on the floor because, their ego. It's one thing if, you came back to them and then, they didn't have to have this difficult conversation. They could just kind of pick up where they left off, where it's like, it's like, and this person knows that you're like, nah. And this is why they're having a hard time coming back. Because you're like, oh, did you think that time and space I was going to forget? Oh, no. You didn't eat that Brussels sprouts and that dinner. Let me get it from the microwave, from about 6-7 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Now eat it. Like, it's like, here it is. Did you think that you were not going to? Here it is, where this person just thought, oh, eventually you'll drop it. Eventually you'll miss me. Eventually you'll care. They thought that you were going to care so much about this connection. That's what they thought, that you were going to be so devastated that, again, that you were going to be drowning in your emotions. That's what they thought. They thought that was going to be you, where you're like, no, I'm in my creative genius. I'm creating. I'm connecting with source. I'm connecting to a lot of other people. I can start to see opportunities manifesting in my future. And you are not part of that future. And this person knows that. It's like, they're like, that was not supposed to play out that way. They're like, it's almost like that's like their little plan completely backfired. Use understanding to have greater emotional balance. Like, so it's, again, this person, like, they don't know whether or not you're going to have understanding. Like, and there's a part of you that is like, I don't know if I want to, like, either, because it's like, hey, that you'd have to prove yourself. It goes back to the whole proving of yourself. Like, now you have to put in effort. Before, you didn't put in any effort. You didn't want to put in effort. You wanted to come in handicapped. You wanted to come in emotionally retarded. Like, that's where you don't know. I don't make fun of the retard either. I mean, like, it's, again, you just don't know. It's like you're handicapped. It's like, so you need to be taught. And so I'm going to have to put you in a position to teach, that I'm teaching you. Like, you can't just come back in. It's like, because, there's trust issues now. I'm not the same person now. This is the issue. And this person knows that. And they're like, I don't really know how to deal with this energy. It was like, because of course it brings them to a place of insecurity and shame. Look what they did. It's embarrassing. Oh, you thought that I wouldn't know? And you thought I was going to be some insignificant nobody. It's like, no, it's like almost like, when you see those TV shows where the person like curses out their soon to be boss and they don't know that it's their boss. And then they get into a car accident half an hour before and they curse the person out and they're like, I'll take you to court and you're blah, 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 and then 10 minutes later they sit down and they're like, come out, and the boss comes out with the black eye from the car accident. And it's like shame. It's like, oh my God, shame. It's like, now let me look at what I actually did. So it's a very humbling thing. So this person would have to actually come back with their tail between their legs, and and Spirit says that's what they have to do. I made sure of that because of the things that they did. It's, again, the disrespect of let me try every flavor. It's like, what about all those other people that you disrespected, that you pretended to care about and had your jollies because you wanted to do what you wanted to do, but you want to downplay that. So it's, again, that's really what this person has, shame, because it's like you're looking at what they did. Like, are you kidding me? So that's why there's a part of you that's like, yeah, so it's like, I don't really know if I can trust you. It's like, beware of the hidden intentions and underlining motives. Like, why do you want to come back into my life? It's like, what's the reason? Oh, because you tried every single flavor. Oh, so now you're like, oh, well, I see everything that you got going on in your life. Look at this. You're in a creative genius. You're in a high vibration. So things are happening for you. You're manifesting. New doors are opening. Oh, that's exciting. So of course it's like I want to be a part of that. So there's a part of you that's like, but you weren't here. You wanted to taste Ben and Jerry's and and every other person, you know? It's like remember that? Oh, insignificant relationships you gave to more. So that's what this person is. So where really it's like spirit says, believe it or not, this could have been a divine union. So it's going to depend on something with you. Because if this person comes back to you, they're actually coming back a better version than themselves. Again, this is like this person knows that they were very childish. Like I said, I just feel like they know. And that would be forgiveness. Like if you would take this person back for forgiveness, and you may be like, no, I don't want to because you're not the same person as you were. So this is the issue. It's like, and you're going to see this person as still impulsive. So they could have been a divine union. They could have been because they were a past life karmic mate and they had all the opportunities to step it up. They chose not to. And now, but now that here it is, you're doing stuff, you're in a high vibration, things are happening for you. They feel you leaving them behind. They're judging their life against your life. They like what your life looks like. They're looking around at every single person that they hung out with that don't compare to you. So again, and they kept like holding back from you, but still holding on to you, which is so weird. Holding back from you, but holding on to you. Okay. Yeah. And that the whole time there's no expectation, no ownership. And the whole time they're growing an emotional bond and not realizing it because this person doesn't normally have emotional connections. So it's like now they're desiring to be in a more like balanced connection because, hey, they've already experienced it. And it was like almost like they had to like experience it. But now it put you in a place where you're like, well, I'm paranoid. And this person's also paranoid because they like know that you're all about loyalty. You're in a high vibration. You're like not gonna like deal with that. So now they're looking at everything and they see again that they didn't give anything. So goes back to the relationship, it's just staying imbalanced unless they come to you because you're not doing anything. And so that's why I feel like they are going to come to you. But understand that they might use a little liquid courage to like help them do so. And that's again, this person tends to avoid. And so as we go deeper into this thing, we also see that if a person has addictions, they're not really confident in themselves. We knew that they had spiritual blocks and connections, but it's again, we can see now like any type of stress, anytime that you hold this person to a certain standard, anytime like they're not on your vibration. They're trying to get on your vibration. This isn't about love. This person loves, but they're broken and they're broken within themselves. So they wouldn't know how to express unconditional love until they heal themselves. You're like, I recognize whatever that is, and I may have unconditional love for you, but I just feel like you're going to be in a new place and you're in too high of a vibration that you would settle for this. Avoidance, alcoholism or drug addiction or just to need to do that in order to have a deep conversation instead of just being able to come back and say, hey, you know what, I'm sorry. It's like you shouldn't need a whole bottle to like drink the comeback, because it's mortifying and it's shameful, and it's look at the things that you've done and ask yourself why you did what you did, change your behavior, take accountability. These are things that adults do. It's like, and there's a sense that this person is just like not emotionally intelligent enough. Can you be with them? Yeah, if you want to like be a babysitter and teach this person like what they like, how to treat you, because they're not going to know how. And understand, if you're getting a person like this, Spirit's saying, well, they're ready to actually do it. So it would require unconditional love from like forgiveness. And also there really would have to be a very strong bond here. But you'd also have to teach them, like I said, how to treat you. And Spirit says, and the reason why is because I don't like the way that your relationships look. You get people that treat you however, and you don't understand why they treat you however. And it's because you don't teach a person how you want to be treated, because it's the way that you don't treat yourself. So you want to like, you have to teach a person so to kind of understand what it is that you want, to be conscious of not to ask. Normally you wouldn't have to ask. But when you know how to hold yourself and you know what to do in order to get the person to to respect you enough to care about your emotional feelings. And Spirit says, you're not giving off that energy. See, every single relationship is karmic. That's why sometimes you're like, hey, wait a minute, I dated Billy Joe, and like, when I dated him, he didn't do anything, but for that girl, he does. Why is he doing for that person and he didn't do it for me? Or why is she doing it for that person and didn't do it for me? Sometimes it's because of the fact that we didn't hold to a certain standard. It's again, people need to feel like they're with somebody that values. So Spirit's saying, if you continually feel that you don't get people that respect you and honor you, again, then you need to hold to a certain vibration. And I feel like part of you didn't know how to. And in the past, you would have been with someone like this, but you did something different this time. And that's why this person is like confused, because there's a past life connection, deja vu. I automatically just thought we were going to be together because, hey, we've always been together in every lifetime. But you weren't happy in every single other lifetime because this person wasn't coming, like they weren't rising to the level that you deserve. So yeah, you felt the emotional connection, but you also had to say, this is a powerful connection. There's a lot of chemistry. There's a lot of attraction. There's a lot. So Spirit said, I had to make sure that you were going to be in a high enough vibration that you can transcend that energy. And that wouldn't happen if you weren't, in your creative genius, if you weren't in this high vibration. That's why this person just can't believe it, that things like aren't going their way. They just can't believe it. They're like, I don't understand. And it's because, hey, you're like, no, like you passed the lesson, you did something different. So that's forcing them to change, but it's painful for them. So painful that they need liquid courage, or they need to smoke their way and to confront the situation. So we have to say, well, what are your inner child wounds? Why did you attract this person into your life? What were you supposed to learn? Where are you fragmented? And Spirit said, well, growing up, you were neglected. And there were friends that weren't really friends. They were frenemies, and that's how it played out, a little bit like betrayal, a lot like victimization. There was not enough time and attention. Not enough like guidance, like not enough emotional support. If anything, feeling as if you were bullied, feeling unworthy. Again, that's what this person kind of did. They knew your worth right from the beginning, but they were like, I'm not ready for this. And I don't really think that you're going to be aware of what I do because I'm slick. I've done this many, many times before, you see, and it always works out this way because it normally does. But they were never dealing with divine energy. They were never going up against the universe. That's what happened here. The universe said, I'm getting involved. This person's getting a little too big for their britches. Let's make them like see themselves from a different perception that they're not gonna like. Let's shatter their self-image a little bit. They're getting a little bit too big for themselves. And it's that, and you need to heal certain things also. This person made you feel unworthy. They don't want to give you time and attention. They want to give you time and attention. You're asking for the bare minimum. You're even asking to be a friend. This person doesn't even know how to do that. They choose to neglect you. Nah. Spirit says the higher self. Again, the creative genius got involved. That's the God part of self, the higher self. That says that this person's like, again, not giving us what we're worth. I'm not going to be bothered. That's their issue. That's not my issue. That's what the Spirit said. Spirit said that's their issue. That they would try to make it as if it's your issue, but it's not your issue. It's like this person wants you to feel, thought that you'd feel bad, thought that you'd give in, feeling bad, but it's like, so what? So that you'd self-sabotage yourself? It's like you weren't going to do that. You weren't going to self-sabotage yourself. So it's again, self-sabotage a lot of times comes from when we didn't get a time and attention. Then we wind up caring more about somebody else's needs, thinking that, well, if I'm good to you, you're going to give me back. That never happens. Never happens. I'm going to be nice so that you're nice. No. God says, the universe says, don't you dare. We shoot for, it's about respect. I respect me. And that forces you to respect me. Otherwise, you're just not in my life. Because understand, I am nice. Automatically, you know that. I'm already nice. And when I like someone, I'm real generous and I'm real nice. I already know who I am. It's like, so you have to earn respect first. It's like, because, hey, you're going to love me automatically. But love without respect just turns to lust and it doesn't grow. And, you have to give time and attention, because that's what builds the emotional connection. You didn't give time and attention. You didn't want to do that. You wanted to neglect me, make me feel bad, and really make me feel empty, make me feel as if there was something wrong, make me stay in a low vibration of being angry. I pulled an extra one because it's like, just a low vibration, and Spirit says, for what? It's like that's no, you did too much work on yourself. You're in too much of a high vibration. And then Spirit says something on my screen I want to get off. Okay, it says 2 more things from this, and this is soul's calling. It's like, no, Spirit says, listen to your soul, and make sure that what you're doing, and which you already are, because you can't be in the creative genius unless you are aligning your actions with your values. Because again, that's what we're talking about. The creative genius is you're coming from those high levels of consciousness of unconditional love. So your values and your character need to be in alignment. And this person's character was not in alignment. That's the problem. It's not that they didn't have feelings and emotions for you. It's again, they weren't healed enough where you're on your path. That Spirit says, I purposely put you on your path. They didn't understand your path because, your path is unique from other people. So it's not a one size fits all. This is a spiritual connection. So this person wasn't able to logically figure out anything. They weren't able to manipulate anything. The whole time that they're realizing is that they're playing a game with themselves. Because after a while, you're like, I'm not getting anything. I'm not going to stick around for this. I love myself too much. Was like, nah, I'd rather just go into the unknown, I'm opening up my heart to the new, where true growth occurs. I want to explore. It's like, I don't want to stay in this low vibration. I already was neglected in childhood. I already didn't have support. It's like, I'm not going to self sabotage my happiness for you. And Spirit says, bingo. Then you heal the spiritual lesson. You integrate the spiritual lesson because you realize it was about giving yourself time and attention, even if it means going into the unknown. Because, again, this person would have just kept you down into a place of feeling unworthy. It's like, when really, when you're going into the unknown, what you're saying is, I know I'm worthy. And when you are on your soul's path, you're in the energy of the highest state of consciousness, because it's your soul's path. You're being led by your heart, your intuition, your inner knowing. It's not a logical thing. It's, oh, I just know that I was called to do this. It's like, do you know what you're doing? No, but no one knows what they're doing. We figure it out as we go along. The reason why is because Spirit says, well, no one can take what's yours. It's an unfoldment process. So they might be able to copy a piece, but they'll never be able to duplicate you and your style and your individuality. And you're finding that. And that's by jumping into the unknown, to not just like do these new things in creating yourself, but to discover like more things about yourself, so that you know yourself better, so you can attract better, really, is what Spirit's saying. It's like, it's not a one size fits all, and unfortunately, if you're in a place of survival, a lot of times if we self-sabotage ourselves, we have shame, we didn't feel safe, there was not enough love, not enough support. It's not a blame game, but we have to bypass the reptilian mind of saying, well, why? And then doing something different. And Spirit says, this is no relationship. This, I want you to find who you are first. Doesn't mean you can't date, but nobody's serious. Like, this person would want to come into your life and they want to dominate your energy. That's not normal. It's, again, they want a one-sided relationship. Again, that would be total self-sabotage, because you don't know what the universe has in store for you. That's going to be twice as good. Spirit says you'd be selling yourself short because you already did the healing work. So remember, the devil always comes right before you're about to give birth, meaning the new life is going to emerge. And the devil is you. Are you going to go through the passion? Because here's the passion, but you know that there's nothing underneath that. And Spirit says, you did too much work. But you can counteract that because you're in a high vibration anyway. And that's why this person's like, I can't believe it. And Spirit, the universe, God, all of them, the same thing, says, you better believe it. Because this person, you, Spirit says, my Scorpio, well, know that their divine action is what ignites love and harmony. And they're aware of their thoughts and are driven by positive forces. They listen to their heart. Their desires manifest light, transform tests, because that's all this was, a test, into growth, challenges into opportunities. You're going to go into the unknown. That's a challenge. And fear into love. So again, evolving you back, restoring you back to your natural energy of unconditional love, because you're embodying it. You said, no, I choose me. I'm worthy. And the universe says, yay, you won. Now on to bigger and better things. We don't create from survival. We're going to create now from thriving. Again, because there's infinite opportunities for you, because you get to be the expression of unconditional love by doing what you love, and your imagination and is going to be how it's going to look. So be in that mindset. Connect to people that feed you and love you and guide you to heal all those pains and wounds from the past, because that was a perception and you had to live a certain way. But again, you don't have to. And that's now. And that was a spiritual test. I deserve a lot more than this. And Spirit says, yeah, that's why this person now has to eat the karma. Because again, they wanted to come back. They thought that they could come back. They never thought you were going to let go. But the universe said it was time. They needed their self-image to be checked severely. It's because they weren't right by you and all the other people that they heard, because they just wanted to figure it out. It's you don't try people on like how you're trying on a pair of pants. That's what it was like. So I'm going to leave that there. Anyone have any questions, please ask. Hey, Handy, handmade with love bags. And hello, Mose. Feeling the ascension of unconditional love, have come out this journey emotionally and spiritually abundant, and wishing peace for everyone, truly loving life. Now to work on my finances at 0. Well, it's again, money has no energy except for the energy you give it. Remember, so become yourself, love yourself, do what you love, find what you love. And that sounds easy, but it's not a lot of times, because we're like, oh, I don't know where to start. But I would just start by going to an online website and seeing what jumps out at you, what you would be curious to learn. Let your spirit guide you. Learn to trust that your spirit knows the answers, and you can do this by choosing a $9, class. There's no risk. I thank you, Laura. He had me so confused until I found you. I have since realized. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I hurt, but it's just beautiful how I'm going to come out of this. It is, because you'll come back out better. And guess what? Not just better, but more of what you do want, because you experience what you don't want. So you were able to focus on what you do want and embody what you do want, so that you're more ensured to not create the same habits and behaviorisms from the past. It was exactly what I needed to hear today. Thank you for your time and energy. Thank you, Mose. Thank you for always giving me kind words, and for sharing your energy with me, always showing up for me. Love you guys. I will be on again later on today, just trying to get it in. If you're connected to a Virgo, you might want to check out my Virgo channel or my Gemini channel. You can find all important information, including my coaching program. So if you're someone that is in need of shadow coaching, definitely check out the link, and I will have one of my peeps reach out to you. I have a bunch of different packages, and if you really want to heal, you can do so. You can change your life. Everyone's capable. That's how the universe made us. He made our minds and our bodies to be self-healing organisms. We just need to know what to do in order to get that healing. So again, all you need to do is check it out in the description box. And if you forgot the word of the video, that will be there too. I have to be honest, I forgot what it is. So I'm going to have to rewind the video. But it'll be in the description box along with everything else. All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you guys soon. Possibly later. Bye.